But as the Robert Frost line goes, there's miles to go before we sleep. For all we've accomplished, there's so much more that we need to do. And I think in the early part of the presentations, I'm not sure what you heard and what you didn't hear, it's just that very selfishly, we're all here today because I really want to begin to key off and to tee up infrastructure financing moving forward. With that, we wanted to show you what economic development and infrastructure investment has done for the Boston Harbor and all its related improvements. We still, as I said, have a lot to go. And with that, and you'll see it next month, the advisory board has hired the Collins Center at UMass to work on a report. And I don't know if they would like to stand. I just want to acknowledge that they're here today. I won't ask them to speak, but they'll take away from me. Come on. It really begins to tee up in a positive way on one part of it of investment in our infrastructure, what it has done for local economies and regional economies, and also makes the case in the converse of what a lack of an infrastructure has done for parts of our state and our region that has pushed and has stopped development from occurring. So that is the second part of a tree-tiered approach. The third is to work with two great friends of the infrastructure and infrastructure investment to really begin to push at the state level for additional recognition of the forgotten infrastructure of water and wastewater. And with that, I will ask Senator Eldridge and Representative Dykema to come forward and maybe just spend a couple minutes talking about what the committee has done and the bill that has moved forward. And I hope that we all can begin to rally around to begin to get funding back on the radar screen.
Good afternoon. It's wonderful to be here, and I want to echo all of the thank yous that we've already heard, and especially thank Joe Favaloro, Fred Lasky, MWRA, the Redevelopment Authority for a wonderful, wonderful tour. Senator Eldridge and I'm Representative Carolyn Dykema. I represent the 8th Middlesex District in Metro West. And Senator Eldridge and I co-chaired the Water Infrastructure Finance Commission, which has been working since 2010, early 2010, to identify the scope of our water infrastructure needs and our funding needs going forward, to be able to work with the legislature and work with MWRA to be able to get the type of funding that we need. I think being here today and being able to talk about this when you're out on the ocean, and we can best appreciate what investments in water infrastructure really mean to our communities, to our Commonwealth. I think nowhere can we be more proud as citizens of the Commonwealth looking at folks like the governor, like the judge, who have been visionary in recognizing the importance of these assets, of these water assets, and what they can be to our Commonwealth. And so I feel very strongly, and I'm sure I speak for the Senator as well, in recognizing that we have a baton to carry here. All of us here on this ferry really have an obligation to take the important work, the incredibly time-consuming work that these folks have invested, and really take it to the next step. The outcome of the Water Infrastructure Finance Commission, the key finding was that we have today an infrastructure funding gap on the water side, drinking water side, of $10.5 billion over the next 20 years. On the wastewater side, $11.5 billion. That is investment that we absolutely need to make. And to that end, I have filed legislation working with the Senator that would commit $2 billion over the next 20 years to water infrastructure funding. It would make an annual allocation for capital investment in water infrastructure annually that would go both through a loan program for municipalities, a grant program for municipalities, as well as some direct funding for every municipality to give them additional assistance to be able to keep up on some of this maintenance work and make sure that we are protecting our water resources for not only today's generation to generate the economic development, to protect our beautiful open spaces, but also for my children's generation. I have two of my children here today, Julia and Andrew. have come along in this trip, and I fully expect that after the wonderful presentation today, they will continue to carry the baton forward in their day as well, so that the mantle is on you kids to keep it moving. So thanks to all, and it's wonderful to be here.
Thank you very much, and Jill, thank you very much for asking us to say a few words as well as giving us a truly captive audience. I first just want to say it's an honor to be here with Governor Dukakis and Judge Stearns and learn their work and first setting forth this vision and carrying it out and seeing it to what it is today. But I also, in sort of echoing the governor's word, just want to thank everyone here for their contributions, for all the wonderful things we've seen in this tour and all of your work. I know that there are engineers, government employees, water conservationists, activists throughout the greater Boston area, and of course the advisory board that have just done tremendous work for decades to see this vision through. So I want to thank you for that, and really to echo Representative Dykema, the Water Infrastructure Finance Commission, of course, is looking at the whole state, and I think what we're really looking to do is take some of the innovative ideas, whether they happen here as part of the cleanup or in other parts of the Commonwealth, and add on to it a layer of increasing the water infrastructure funding so we can support innovation, economic development, water quality, and a greater use of the water throughout the Commonwealth. So that is our charge. As the Representative mentioned, we filed legislation on that. We're both working very closely this summer going into the fall in proposing legislation to go through the Environment Committee, perhaps the Bonding Committee. I'll just say on the Senate side, it's been wonderful to have the Senate President who, in addition to caring about environmental issues, particularly for her district, it's reaching a real crisis, the Cape and Islands. So it's something that she's really interested in. She's talked about as part of her mission for this session. And so for anyone that hasn't had a chance to talk to us about your ideas, your feedback about how we can increase innovation, new ideas on investment, and how we can better protect water quality and water throughout the Commonwealth, as well as promote economic development, please be in touch, because this is sort of a critical time to hear your feedback and get your ideas. And once again, it's great to be with you on this tour. Thank you so much for inviting us, and we look forward to working you on this throughout the rest of the session. Thank you.